welcome along and welcome back to Spruce Mountain Farms. Today we are going to be continuing on with our preparations of this year's fields. I actually discovered that March is too early to plant corn, so we've got all of the cotton in the ground. That is all nicely growing and getting started. But if we have a look at our planting calendar, you can see here that corn doesn't actually kick in till next month. So I'm really happy. We've managed to finish the cotton within plenty of time for this year. And the corn we're not going to be planting until next month, so that's all good. That gives us the chance to leave this tractor here going with the mulcher and getting this and field 6 ready for us to continue on. Meanwhile, back here at the farm, we're going to be using the Claus Axion here to start feeding the cows. And it's going to be very much a cow day on the farm today. We've got a lot of milk to sell. We've got a lot of feeding to do. And as well, we could also do with giving our equipment a bit of a wash down and putting away. So we're going to start off with that. I'm going to get all of this stuff here washed, get all the mud off it and get it put away. And then we're going to get feeding the cows and getting some mixed ration created for them. And hopefully make a whole load of money off some milk today as well. So just finish off washing the tractor, get the weight done as well. We're right at the extent of the hose here. But it's all looking quite nice and clean and should be fairly good. Let's jump in the tractor and see what the state of all of our equipment is. See if anything needs repairing. No, everything's in pretty good state of repair at the moment that's attached to this. So we'll put this back in here. I'd like to put a barn or a shed or something over the other side, I think. In order to do that, though, we're going to have to cut down a tree and also get... hopefully have enough money for the barn. There's been a couple of nice red barn packs released and things like that that should allow us to place a good shed over there. The shed I'd like to place is this one. It's an American carport, and that would fit over here really nicely. Would go in that space. That tree there would have to go. But you can see it fits in that space really nicely. It's nice and wide. It will take our cedar, which is what we really need to have. And yeah, it's only 35,000. So that would be plenty to get the extra storage space we want and sort things out. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and put this over there as well. Get this out of the way, and then we can give our cedar a clean along with our big tractor. I'm actually going to leave that all attached up. There's no point in detaching our 9220 from the cedar today because we're basically going to immediately be using that on that again tomorrow. Whereas this Axion, we have a job for it to do in between getting it on the rolling again. So drop that off there and let's go and wash this. The other thing we're going to have to do today is go and buy some seeds. We are a little bit low on them. I think we've got about 1,500 litres. We've got a few in the cedar already. In fact, how much have we got in the cedar? We've got 326 litres in the cedar. So that's fairly good. And then I think we got about 1,500 litres maybe in storage. That is about enough to do one field. So I reckon we need probably about 4 more bags of seeds before we continue. So we will have to go and grab those from the shop. We should be able to fit those in the back of our truck, though, if we put the truck bed back on it. So it's going to be a case of getting that sorted later. But it is sitting over there, ready to take some milk. We've only got 6,000 litres space in that. And I think we've got quite a lot of milk at the moment. That's done. Yeah, in fact, we have 23,000 litres of milk at the moment. So that is going to be 4 runs with our tanker in order to get that done. So yeah, busy old day with that. We're just going to move this out the way, park it in the middle, roughly where it was. Should be nicely out of the way, pretty much straight in the middle of the yard. So many gears to this tractor. Right, so we'll leave this here, ready to load up later. And now we can hook this up to our feeding wagon and start looking at getting some feed into our cows because they're looking very, very low. It's amazing the difference having an extra tractor on the farm has made. We would be in a position at the moment where we wouldn't be able to do this job at the same time as the mulching if we hadn't got this tractor. And so it's really sped things up. The reason why we've caught the day back up that we need is because we have the Axion on the farm now. So I'm quite pleased with the purchase. It was one of those purchases that I was really umming and ahhing about. And the fact that it's actually worked out really well this far is pretty amazing. We still have that little pile of grain sitting in the corner here. We're going to have to deal with that at some point. Somebody suggested I grab an auger and use a conveyor belt to get that off the ground. And I think that's a really good idea. So at some point, we'll hire an auger. We'll get it into the corner just to clear that up. Because having a whole load of wheat in the corner of the shed is not something I really want. Now, we're going to have to be a little bit careful about how we mix this. We definitely want a full hay bale in this. So let's grab that out of there. And that will go in fairly nicely. So this is 9,000 litres. I think this only holds about 20,000 litres. Up on top and in. There we go. So yeah, the total capacity of our feeding wagon is 22,000 litres. So yeah, we need to be careful. So 9,000 off that gives us nearly halfway there. I think we want to. How much is in this? This will have 7,500 litres. So we only want about half of this bale in. So we'll have to hold this over the top to do that. Really interesting. We need to get the bale low on the spike in order to get this in there. And this is where a telehandler would come in really useful. Because obviously we want to empty this out, put about half in it. So watch that, and a little bit more. As much as we can get away with, basically. There we are. 40 or 52% of that bale. So 3,625 litres, and we'll leave this bale near the front here. Now, we don't actually need mineral feed. If you guys haven't checked out Monday's video, I went through in depth exactly how to best mix rations for feeding cows. So how to best do TMR. And one of the things I discovered is unless you've got the automatic robotic feeders, you do not need the mineral feed. I've been using it because I've been under the impression that it gives you better milk output. But it's not true. It doesn't actually do that. It is just a really expensive ingredient. So my recommendation is not to do what I've done here on Spruce Mountain and get pallets and pallets of mineral feed if you're not using a robotic feeder, because it is just unnecessary. And now that we got 63% in here, we're actually not too far off a perfect mix in this, which is fantastic. Basically, we want to maximize the amount of straw we got in here, minimize the amount of silage we have to use, and then fill the middle bit with hay. So if we bring up the help menu, you can see we got 40.9% hay, 36.9% silage, 17.5% straw, and 4.8% mineral feed. That's not bad. I'm quite happy with that. So that's what we want to do on here, I think. We could go with a little bit more straw possibly, but in general I'm fairly happy with this. Let's switch our output side and unload it, and we're gonna have to do several rounds of this because this is a really hungry set of cows at this point. While we're doing that, this tractor has finished up on this field. So we've got this field 5A is all mulched. We're going to head between 5A and 7B and get the get field 6 mulched next, and that will be our last field that needs mulching this year, which is brilliant because that means this job is all done and we can give this tractor a good clean as well. I'm going to set it going at this top corner up here because this is the closest one to the farm, and it means that we will end up back in this corner ready to get the tractor up to the farm, get it cleaned and sorted, and plus we've got a nice little entrance road into the field at this top corner. So stop that there. We want to clear this course, and then we click on no course, and we want this to go automatic, generate me a course, and we can see here now that field 6 is ready and down the opposite end to where we are. So let's head down there and get it started. On a farm with bigger fields like this, course play becomes an absolute necessity. It's the only way that you can work multiple equipment on your own this effectively, especially with trees and things like that at the edges of the field. So this will get going and we'll sort this field out, and we won't have to worry about that again today. So I can get back to filling this up with some silage, and again we're in pretty much the same place as we were before. Slightly less straw in this one, but it is more than enough to get a good mix. And we have more than enough silage on here, so I'm not worried about the fact that we're using a little bit more silage and a little bit less straw than I'd like normally. Seems to work out better, and in fact, coming from this side, I think it's better for me to come in this way and empty out with the other side of my feeding wagon. And yeah, we're gonna get the cows sorted. 4 loads in, and we are making a dent, although I think we are still quite a way away. Yeah, we are up to 79%. I think so. I think this takes 200,000 liters, or just under, looking at this, which is quite good. We should be able to get fairly close to that. So 8 of these in total should do it, and get us fairly near the top. So I'm going to keep going around doing that. We've got the time today. We might as well get our cows all filled up and sorted. So I'm going to just keep going with this. And then once we're done, I want to look at the possibility of maybe changing or getting a dedicated milk truck, considering how much milk we are now actually creating on here. This is about as close to the perfect mix as I've got with the mineral feed, because obviously I'm trying to use that up. But we are at 40.9% of hay. We're at 26.2, which is 1.2% more silage than I think I need. And we're at 28.1% of straw, which is just under 2% below the maximum amount of straw that I can have. So that is about as perfect as a mix as I can get, with the fact that I'm using mineral feed and I've got hay bales, which means I'm a little bit less exact. So yeah, I'm liking that a lot. That's working out quite well for me. I'm trying to get just over 6,000 liters of straw in each time, and go from that. We've got probably enough left to do the 3 more loads I've got to do. So it's going to be, I think the last mix is probably going to be hay and silage and mineral feed. I don't think we're going to have enough straw to do the remaining 3 loads we've got. But we're not going to be far off. Seems we might have enough straw to get 1 more trailer out. This is the last load I think we need for today, but 6,000 litres still left in that straw bale means that that can go in its entirety. We've got another hay bale, so we're actually really good for hay bales at the moment, which is great. So that's going to last us quite a while. I want to fill that shed really this spring, so we're gonna get a whole load more bales done off our 2 grass fields, but this will all go in there as well. We then just need to go and fill up the last of the the last of the mineral feed. We're not going to replenish this. We're not going to replace this, having discovered, as I said in Monday's video, that this is completely unnecessary unless you're using a robotic feeder. It's no point in having it, no point in spending the huge amount of money that it costs to have that. So we might end up selling that little shed and or using it for something else. We definitely don't need it here. And then we just got the silage to finish putting it in. So let's bring this around here like so and get this loaded up. The final little bit in there, and you can see everything evens out. All our bars go green, and yeah, 25.4% straw, 28.9% silage, 40.9% hay, and 4.8% mineral feed, all mixes together. And then we finish off getting the cows fed today. I think looking at this, we could possibly do 1 more trailer, although it wouldn't be a full trailer's worth. This is going to keep the cows going for a good long while and keep them producing milk. Speaking of which, we have nearly 25,000 litres of milk on here. And just looking in the shop, I downloaded something that I think would be really useful for us. That's this. The Mac Pinnacle 6x4, I think would be a cracking milk truck to have on the farm. So, yeah, if I could... How much would this cost to lease in its base configuration? Not a huge amount, actually, and would easily pay for itself with the amount of milk that we're creating. So, yeah, I think that might be a good choice. I've put all the other equipment away, and our mulcher has finished here up at field 6. So we'll clear the course off that. And I'd like to spend the rest of today, I think, getting the milk sold. We have got our milk tanker, although I have updated to the latest patch, and I've had some problem with this tanker. I don't know what it is, but it's really only started happening since I updated. So we might have to go and get that milk truck I was talking about earlier. I think maybe give it a try and see how well it works. So let's just give this a quick wash, and that's all sorted. But yeah, I think a more dedicated milk tanker, as we're getting a larger number of cows on here, is a good thing anyway. We'll see how much it costs and see how much we make from the milk. I think we should more than cover it though, and that should be fairly good. So our 6M and the mulcher is now looking rather clean. We'll get that and we'll go put this away, and then I'm going to head down to the shop and we'll go and lease that truck and see what it's like. Give it a try and see if it's any good. So down at the shop, let's pop into here. And it's under trucks, I think. Yeah, there it is. So this is the Pinnacle 6x4 tanker. Now, you might have noticed when I looked at this earlier, I realized that it didn't take milk. It actually, as it is on the mod hub, only takes digestate, slurry, and water. But I have added milk into it because it didn't make an awful lot of sense to me to have a tanker like this that didn't take milk. So what we're going to do is get, I think we're going to get it with the basic engine size. We don't have a huge amount of hills or anything to get it up. Don't need an attacher. We've got 14, 16, 18, and 20,000 litres. I'm going to take it with the 20,000 litres because it's not going to cost me anything. Don't need GPS. Colour, I think we will go with a Vultra. Oh, wow. That is actually, I'm going to go with that. And I want a silver tanker on it, I think. Yep. I like that a lot. And then we've got the chrome sets here. And then finally, we need to go and find a person from our producer level patrons for the number plate. Congratulations to Gareth. You have been selected at random from the producer level patrons. And so your name will go on the number plates for our new truck. And front and back. Yep, brilliant. So there we go. Okay. And on the front and on the back like so. We will now lease that. Yes. 4,906 to lease that. So as long as we make that from our initial milk, which we should do because we have way more milk than that, that will work. And actually, I really like that green. I think that suits it really well. And it'll go on our farm rather nicely like that. So up into gears. Yeah. And away we go. A nice Mack truck, which fits in rather nicely for us to go and cart our milk about in now. And I think we got 25,000 litres of milk to actually get sold. So we will move this out the way. So this is our existing one. This is the one that I've been having trouble with. I do not know what's causing it. I know other people who aren't having issues with this tanker. And I think we'll go and test it in a minute. I need to go and get some water. But I had problems before trying to get it to work. And actually had to record a little bit of this video twice because of the problems I've had. So that's how I know. Right, we'll refill that with milk. And I think we could possibly do with topping up the water. So we'll go and give this a try and see if this will work for doing the water. But certainly it's I've had trouble with it selling milk. Let's bring this around here. Back this up. Onto our bridge here. What I think I do need to do is widen the tires we've got on this. Because it does tend to slip between these with this tire, or between this wood with these tires, and not sit there very well. So yeah, I think I want to improve my TLX 3500. And there we go, nice and full. Let's take this back, see if we can empty out the water and get it to actually work. And if it doesn't work, then that demonstrates the issue I'm having quite well. Bring it round. Right, so let's overload. Yeah, this is the trouble I'm having. You start overloading and it immediately stops, so it won't unload anything. So I don't know what's up with this tanker at the moment. So yeah, I am pleased that I picked up this. We have 4,728 litres of milk left, so I'm going to leave that and we'll take that later. Best place to sell milk right now, though, is at Central Exports, 1,270. Yes. So we'll take this down to Central Exports and get that sold down there. And that should then give us a good bit of money. In fact, 1,200 is probably going to give us about... yeah, it's going to give us about 24,000. So we're going to be back up to about 50,000 on here, which is excellent. I need to drop down a gear, though, in order to get the torque going a bit better. I really like this as a milk truck. This is absolutely fantastic little truck for us to have on the farm. Not overly expensive as well. If we get a couple of loads in from it, whoa, brakes are horrible. But if we get a couple of loads in from this, we should be able to actually buy it outright, which would be fantastic. Let's unload that, see how much we end up with. With our really strong environmental score, this is going to go over 50,000. There it is, 52,364, 25,000 in sold milk, and nearly 3,000 in the environmental score. That's a huge amount of money. So, wow, that is impressive. That has gone on its own a third of the way to paying for that truck. That is incredible. So yeah, well worth having this on the farm. And with that, that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So all that remains is for me to say thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please leave a like, drop us a comment, and give it a share. Special thanks to all my patrons and channel members. Your support is invaluable in making these videos and helping the channel to grow. For more from Virtual Farmer, check out the links below, follow on Twitch to watch live, and for more videos, subscribe and ring that bell. I will see you next time. Goodbye.